Thanks for entering the crypt with us. We're Bone Patrol. I'm Aaron.
I'm Chris.
I'm Tyler.
And today we're doing our second installment of your stories. These are listener submitted stories. Anything you've had contact with the supernatural.
And this episode's in loving memory of Brendan, rest his soul.
The Noob 950, Brendan, the host of the Total Chaos podcast.
Pour one out for the homie.
Well, you listen to the story first and then pour one out.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But this invitation goes out to anybody listening or anybody you know. Submit your story to us. If you got a real experience with the supernatural, we would love to hear it. We'd love to goof on you.
I'd like to hear if you've ever gotten in a stranger's car by accident because you thought it was yours. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I did that once. A car parked right next to mine is the same model. And I was trying to get in it. I was like, that's not my backpack. And for some reason, I still tried to get in the car.
Whose backpack's in my car?
I'm gonna...
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna throw the backpack away.
Maybe there's a bomb in the backpack. You
gosh.
need to defuse the bomb. Let me know if you've ever had to defuse a bomb.
That's a supernatural story, and I'd like to hear it.
Supernatural.
Wasn't there some thing that the Navy SEALs, or I don't know, they'd had to get a bomb strapped to a robot that they drove into a cave and blew somebody up?
Probably.
Yeah, that's probably
Imagine
happened.
how cool that'd be to be that robot.
Well, I mean, the robot's
It would have been
gone.
the Navy SEALs who did that.
Listen.
It was on Black Ops 2.
We want to hear your stories about ghosts, about ghouls,
UFOs.
about UFOs,
Time travelers.
about defusing bombs,
Optimus Prime.
about walking into the wrong car, about losing your mom at the
Jerry
supermarket, but most
Seinfeld.
of all, if I'm being completely honest, I want to hear Sasquatch sightings. If you've seen Sasquatch, I want to hear it.
Or Yeti.
If you've seen Tyler's missing dad,
Yeah.
never came back with that all.
How long does it take to get to a gas station and pick up a couple of beers?
Apparently, 22 years?
22 years.
So this story here is, once again, from Brendan. He submitted our last story, and this one's called The House of Stone.
I've been there.
Oh.
As opposed to the House of Hay, or the House of Sticks, or the House of...
The wolf didn't get me if that's where you're going with this.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah,
good.
I was safe.
Oh my gosh, my third little piggy built the House of Stone.
Uh-huh.
And then Brendan saw a ghost.
And then Eric Andre goes, "Let me in!"
Let me in!
So the House of Stone. I love fishing. I can't think of a better weekend off than to go to a riverside with a few friends, cast a few lines in the water, and see what we can catch.
What do you plan on catching beyond fish?
Also, it's totally safe to share your secret fishing spots with us in ghost story form.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you know what's the saddest thing?
Fishing.
When you're an Uber driver, no, fishing is fun. When you're an Uber driver and you pick up a guy and he says, "Take me to this location," and it's your secret fishing spot.
That would hurt a little
Has
bit.
that happened before?
I'm not going to talk about it.
No.
When I win Mega Millions, I'm gonna buy Bass Pro Shop.
Okay.
I love fishing.
What about Cabela's?
Nah.
I think they are owned by the same people.
Yeah, I think they are the same.
In all honesty, tell us your secret fishing spots.
We'll
won't
ruin
tell.
them.
No, I'm gonna
We
fish.
won't tell.
We're not going to fish them. Nope. The small town I hail from is right next to a river. A bit downstream is the best fishing spot that I've been to.
I know exactly where this is now. You spoiled your fishing spot, Brendan. Get played.
It might be a placebo, but I always seem to have a better experience when I fish there.
I think he meant gazebo.
It might be a gazebo, but it's really comfortable to sit underneath it and fish.
The word you're looking for is gazebo.
The spot itself isn't that special. It's just like any other spot along the riverbank, save for one thing. The ruins of what used to be a house of stone. We dubbed the ruins and the spot itself the Stone House. Very creative, I know.
Wait,
I
so
agree.
The wolf did get in.
No,
if it's
the,
just rubble, it's
the
ruins.
pig eventually died and moved out and nobody maintained it and it just fell apart on its own. Classic urban decay.
Urban decay.
A bit of backstory on this house. We'll find out if you were right. It was broken down in 2008. Yeah, you were wrong. No wolf. After it was discovered, rituals were being done inside.
What kind of rituals?
This was the ideal spot for any kind of ritual.
Oh, what?
Any kind.
I like to do rituals before I take a test that help me get an A.
Okay, that's called chaos magic.
Sometimes I do rituals on Minecraft where I burn all your guys' diamonds in lava. Whoops.
Wait, you did that on our server?
No. Maybe, yeah.
No wonder why
Actually-
I have no diamonds.
Because Tyler hadn't played in a while. I would get you go into his house and anything I liked, I'd just take it out of his chest.
Oh,
and
no,
use.
what?
You hadn't played.
If you get name tags in Minecraft, you can like put them on people and animals and name them. And if
Yeah.
you name things, certain things, it does stuff to them. Like, so if you name a sheep like a certain name, it turns rainbow.
What?
I don't know if this
Rainbow?
is real, but that's what some guy told me.
I've heard there's actually a lot of Easter eggs in the game like that.
Yeah.
Was this guy down by the river in the van?
Yes, at the fishing spot, a little off the Great Karoo. He was with Jerry Seinfeld, Optimus Prime, Creeper
horse.
on the horse, and
Caillou.
Caillou.
There you go.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so this was the ideal spot for any kind of rituals because a man was murdered inside the one-room building a few years prior.
What if I'm
It
doing
was a
an
pig.
anti-murder ritual?
It was a pig.
Like a cop?
No,
Yeah!
it is,
Tip a car!
Typical.
Light things on fire!
and his body wasn't found there until a month later. Apparently, this linked the spot to the other side. I'm not an expert on rituals and piercing the veil, and so I can't verify the valid. Why can't I read?
What can't you validate?
I'm not an expert on rituals.
Validity.
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 I'm not an expert on rituals and piercing the veil, so I can't verify this.
I am
So-
incapable to
So
verify.
it took a month to find a dead body?
Well, if it's a small town,
And it's a meth house.
and it's a meth house,
There's a dark door.
Oh,
and
I
there's a
thought
dark door.
There's a ghoul living
it took
inside.
him a month
There's
to
a-
find a dead body in the House of Stone. I'm like, wow.
And his body wasn't found there until a month later.
It was in the House of Stone.
Yeah, it
It
took him a
was.
month to find him.
Okay.
Maybe he forgot to install a door. That's why he died.
Yeah. You need a dark door.
The ritual that caused the place to be broken down was supposed to be a sacrifice. The people doing the sacrifice were only going to kill a sheep, but rumors spread around town that it was a human sacrifice, so the police intervened. The pigs.
How can you not tell the difference between a sheep and a human?
No, they lied about it. They said to everybody it's going to be a sheep so people wouldn't look into it, because no one cares if you sacrifice a sheep. But in reality, they were sacrificing Greg.
Greg!
From South Africa.
Yeah.
Greg from South Africa. Greg from South Africa.
And then they arrested everyone involved. And since the building was on state property, why the heck did they have a house on state property? They decided to destroy it. That seems reasonable. In order to discourage any stranger activities happening inside of it. After that, it mostly became a spot for underage drinking and drug use.
I love when my house turns into a place for underage drinking and drug use.
Well, I mean, that's the disco.
That's Debbie Disco for you.
Debbie Disco is
drinking and
underage.
drug use, and then she dies in the back of Space Mountain.
Wait, was it Space Mountain? I thought it was, oh.
It was Space Mountain because her green aura flies around. You might even smell her. Is that Debbie? That's Debbie.
Smells like disco.
Smells like disco.
Does it smell like disco in here to anyone else?
Now listen. The history of the house so far. House built. Man dies. A month later they find him. Cultists move in. They start doing rituals. They decide to do a sacrifice. Sheep sacrifice? No. Greg sacrifice.
Yes.
Great.
Police come in, intervene, arrest everyone, dismantle the house completely now at this point, and then
Best fishing spot.
exactly. You thought it couldn't get any better for this house? It only
Fishing.
became an ideal fishing spot in 2010 when a guy decided to go camp out there and caught the biggest fish in recent town history.
There's actually a movie. So this one is this one has real history
Yeah,
behind
Ewan
it.
McGregor.
Big fish.
Yeah.
Large Adam Driver.
Large Adam Driver.
Meets tiny Ewan McGregor.
this an
Yeah,
actual
Obi-Wan versus Kylo Ren.
Big fish.
Have you ever seen Big
I've
Fish?
never seen Big Fish.
It's got Obi-Wan. It's got Kylo Ren. Fate of
Still
Duel
haven't
of
seen it.
Fates.
So-
And lots of fishing.
Gandalf.
Gandalf, yeah.
Gandalf's in there.
A lot of dad problems with sons.
Had problems with.
Lots of lies.
Lots of dirty lies. Like, I love you.
I'll come back.
I bring almond milk.
That's funny because my dad drinks almond milk.
Well, that's why he left, is he's going to get almond milk. And they were all out. He's waiting for him to stock.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Yeah, I guess it
No,
does.
it takes about 23 years to restock almond milk.
Because you need to milk the almonds.
Well, it takes 22 years to milk a single almond.
And he's getting 2 things of it, so you still got 22 more years.
Oh, man.
So obviously, once the biggest fish in recent history was caught, people flocked to the spot to replicate what happened with moderate success. The buzz died down after a while, and now it's just the go-to spot for a day by the water.
Just a day by the water. Adam Driver, Ewan McGregor, just rituals. Perfect place for a good fishing ritual.
Playing Duel of Fates on your ghetto blaster.
You're
Yeah, and all that was in 2010. But in 2014, it was a close friend's birthday, and he invited me over and 2 others to go fishing to camp by the riverside for the night.
He hadn't had a birthday in 4 years, from 2010 to 2014.
He was born on leap year.
Oh.
We accepted and all met at the spot early in the morning. It was a Saturday. We caught a few fish,
As luck would have it.
roasted some meat on a campfire, and just generally had a good time. Night fell, and eventually we all decided to go to bed. We got in our tents and went to sleep, but I couldn't fall asleep. After what felt like an hour or so, I heard a scuffling outside. I thought one of the others were also having trouble. So I quietly zipped open the tent, peeked outside.
Saw Ewan McGregor crawling.
And there
through
was
the grass.
Caillou.
Crawling through the
Caillou, what are you doing
You
here?
just hear the theme song slowly getting louder as he gets closer. I'm just the kid who's 4 each day.
I couldn't see anyone. I stepped outside and scanned the area. A thick fog had settled on the water, and it was swirling in weird
How
patterns.
thick?
What kind of meat did they eat?
3 C's thick.
That's the kind of meat they ate, or that's the fog?
That's how thick the
Well, I'm
fog.
just curious.
Fog.
Tyler's having a stroke.
Please help me, please.
My eyes were drawn to a specific bit of fog that seemed to be
Ultra thick.
that seemed to part and swirl as if someone was walking through it. I didn't think too hard about it. Instead, I
It's
listened,
just Caillou.
It's just Caillou being like, hi.
elected to go make myself some coffee.
Wait, so he's like, oh, I can't
Listen,
sleep.
He can't sleep.
Better make some
Coffee.
coffee.
Opens
to
the
stay
tent.
up.
He realizes he's tripping hard because they ate some meat that was laced with some DMT.
It happens all the time when I go to the grocery store.
Coffee time.
Coffee.
Coffee time.
Coffee time.
It took a minute to get the fire going, and when I looked up, the weird swirling had stopped. This caught my attention because the wind hadn't shifted. I scanned the river, but got shocked when the fog right in front of me swirled forward as if someone had stepped out.
Uh-oh.
Now, in my defense, it was late at night, by a river, close to where a murder and a strange ritual had taken place, so I instantly assumed the worst. Now, from here, the story becomes weird, but this is exactly how I remember it.
Creeper on the horse. Walk toward me.
I
Creeper on the
staggered backwards
horse.
and fell on my back.
Creeper on the horse say, go away.
My eyes glued to where the fog swirled out. The fire was between me and that spot, and the fog from the fire seemed to be drawn to that spot. Looking back, it might have been forming the shape of a human, but that might just be my overthinking. The fire seemed to buck as the smoke figure came closer, and as it passed over the fire, it died. The smoke figure or the fire?
Or Brendan.
Or Brendan died.
My heart was racing. Now Brendan's alive. As I clambered to my feet, I picked up the nearest object to me, a knife we used to gut fish. I don't know how I intended to fight off this specter with a knife because this specter probably had a gun, as we learned in Brendan's history.
Was it the specter's form by any chance look like an ostrich?
Nope, but I was ready to fight for my life. The figure began to diffuse, the smoke from the fire died, and it came closer to me. I was frozen in fear, brandishing the knife when it came up to me and went through me.
Ooh.
The hairs on the back of my neck,
You're what?
his nook, and his neck stood on end, but I didn't feel the stereotypical chill. On the contrary, I felt a kind of comforting warmth. I spun around, but the figure had vanished.
Chris, stop crying. It's okay.
Tom Nook can't hurt you now.
Tom Nook can't
Was this
Animal
Was
Crossing.
the specter's form in the shape of a small raccoon?
Targeting you with predatory loans.
And two small ones that take you money for shovels and such.
I retreated to my tent and I lied down in the fetal position. I don't know how long it took, but I eventually fell asleep. I woke up before everyone else, just as the sun began to rise. I went outside to make the coffee. I didn't end up drinking it the night before, so I gotta remake it. My working woke up the others, but decided to keep my experience to myself. I studied the riverbank and the building for anything that could tell me what I saw was real, but I couldn't find anything. I know it wasn't a dream because the half-made cup of coffee I tried to make was there.
Did he wake up outside or in the tent? Because he said he curled up on the ground, right? Or did he curl
No,
up in his
back in the tent.
Oh, okay.
So in the tent.
I do have a few questions.
Yeah.
Is the specter's form either in the shape of a semi-truck, a small bald kid, a bee that looks like Jerry Seinfeld, or a creeper on a horse?
Which one?
Or an ostrich?
We're an ostrich, yeah.
That will heavily influence
I don't know.
my
I
theory.
feel like it's closer to resemble Caillou. Because Caillou is the scariest thing. Same thing with the theme song.
I'm Caillou.
That stuff is nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, ghost, smoke ghost,
So
fire ghost.
Fire
they,
ghost.
at the beginning, there was a man murdered there, right?
Correct.
And then they tore down the place when people tried to do rituals there.
Correct.
But was there successful rituals done, or did they tear it down?
No, yeah,
before?
it was used for rituals.
They're like, you know what? We're gonna leave this place open for recreational rituals.
Recreation. Yeah, over here we have our recreational ritual place where you can do any type of rituals as long as you're not sacrificing humans.
As long as it's recreational. For the law for rituals to be recreational, you can't do human sacrifices.
Yeah.
That's the
Otherwise,
one
it's
rule.
not
That's the
recreational.
one rule, yeah. So
Then
I mean,
it's
you can put
medical.
salt. You can get
Unless
ghosts.
it's medical or you're a high-ranking politician.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
No questions
No.
asked.
Yeah, so it makes sense. Okay, so place is haunted. Who's haunting it? Is it the man who was sacrificed? Is it the dude who died there? Both? Was it two ghosts?
Maybe it was a different being
Lots of ghosts?
from a
Well,
ritual.
they did say that it somehow
Could be.
this linked the spot to the other side. So is this a hot spot, like a portal where ghosts can just walk in and out freely?
Maybe. So
Yeah.
I don't know how it works because you usually can tear down a place and then do like a little sage on it and it closes it up.
Okay.
Whoop. So they just need to sage it, right? They've done one part.
Yeah, yes, you just need to close the portal. Sounds like they opened a portal, ghosts are walking freely between planes, and that's just kind of what you're experiencing.
That's why it's such a hot fishing spot, as fishers are jumping through the portals into the river.
So the fish they ate was from another dimension.
Spectral fish.
Spectral
fish. So that's why that dude was like hallucinating smoke monsters.
Well, the dude's like, I caught the biggest fish in town history. And they're like, no, you didn't show us. Like, it disappeared as soon as I caught it.
Spectral fish.
So this stone house is a portal to another dimension, which other dimensional beings travel through and haunt our dimension.
Yeah, that's a pretty common actual thing with ghosts. Like, so when
Yeah.
you look at the most haunted places in the U.S., they typically claim that it's because
There's a portal.
There's a portal between this life and the afterlife, and so ghosts can walk freely. What I don't get is why we can't walk freely through it.
Because you're not in your spectral form.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, because you can't. So it's like 9 3/4. You're not running fast enough at it.
So
So if I run fast enough, I can get through any portal.
So you talked about I just pull a Doctor Strange and astral project myself. I can jump through it.
Yeah, well, let me punch you in the chest and I'll knock you out of your physical form into the astral realm. And then you can go through the portal if you run fast enough at it with your cart of wizard supplies and an owl. No?
I think so. No, that makes sense to me.
Okay.
No questions asked.
So this
No
one
questions
sounds.
asked,
So
I
this
guess.
one, I think it was solved when he said it linked the spot to the other side.
Yeah, I think it's just a portal. How do they work?
Please tell
How
us.
do they work?
Google it.
How
Google it for
Google
us.
how portals work?
Yeah. Google portal. How do work?
How do work? Why I smell?
Like, yeah, why can't I just go walk through? Well, maybe you can, though. Because there's all the sorts of cases of people just going missing. Maybe they
What about
step,
Rudolph Fence?
Yeah, maybe they step wrong on a portal and they go flying through it. And
Maybe
like,
you have to be a certain type of person to walk through a portal.
maybe your atoms have to hit just right.
And also your Adam's apple has to hit right.
Yeah, it's got to be a big Adam's apple.
Big.
Like a punching bag. Dong, 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 punch it. Knock it out. Did
So
you find
I
it?
tried to look up smoke ghost.
Uh-huh.
You know, because that's what he saw.
Yeah.
Here's the common searches with that. We've got how do you ghost a DAP pen? How do you ghost inhale with a jewel? How to do the best smoke tricks ghost inhale? And how do you ghost a friend nicely?
Oh.
Is ghost like using a jewel? Is that just like you act like you don't, like you act like you hit it, but you don't?
Uh-huh.
Just like, just practice your coughing.
Yeah. Is it okay to end a friendship?
Yeah, sure. Depends, I
It
guess.
depends on the person.
Maybe we should hold therapy Thursdays.
Can you ghost a boyfriend?
Yeah.
No one is safe from ghosting anymore.
Nobody.
Oh man.
Not even the president.
Not even the president.
Not even the leader of North Korea.
Well, I think this one is actually pretty wrapped up.
This one was pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
It's just murder happened, rituals happened,
Get some sage,
portal opens,
and you were fixed.
spectral fish,
Spectral
Ewan
fish.
McGregor
Adam
riding
Driver.
the back of the horse with the creeper, holding on tightly to the creeper, just resting his head on the creeper's shoulder as they listen to some Kanye West into the sunset.
I think
Okay.
there's two real options here. You get some sage and close the portal, or you meet some of the best ghost fishing buddies of your life. Your choice. I know how to
Meet
choose.
some good people.
Or you can load up a shopping cart with wizard supplies and run out at full speed and enter into the ghost world.
That too.
You could say Beetlejuice three
We-
times and have him build a garage
We
around
need,
it.
we need to meet up with the Moonlit Ghost again and see if he knows where a portal is and if he's willing to try to jump inside.
There's
the
one
portals.
here.
Yeah.
Well, not here, but like 30 minutes from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to let us try to jump into it with a
They might.
cart full of wizard supplies.
If they don't know. Two of us distract. One of us sneaks the cart
Sneaks
in.
in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to talk to the Moonlight Ghost and see if he wants to team up and go to that location.
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Have all your friends listen to us, and they'll let us go do an on-site investigation, guaranteed.
Also, share your stories.
Please.
By the way, the place is called Leslie's Family Tree.
Share your stories with us.
From Leslie's Family Tree.
And we want to hear them.
They have good scones.
So we can read them here and then I can make fun of you.
You can get root beer from the tap.
But we'll also believe you.
Everything you say, we will believe. These are what we like to call true fake ghost stories shared by you.
And Brendan.
But they're real.
But they're real.
And with that, we're going to lock this one in the crypt.
Let's get a spectral kiss. Let's get a kiss from the spectral fish. One more kiss from South African Brendan.